thing is cutting carbon dioxide emissions. Carbon dioxide emissions are the key driver of climate change, as they are what are warming the planet. Warming of the planet is what results in climate change and these more extreme weather events. Now, at the moment we are experiencing that, so we do have to adapt by building better flood defences, preparing our sort of resources and infrastructure to be able to deal with those heavy rainfall events and the impact of those. So that is the key sort of thing that we need to do. We need to mitigate against climate change and also adapt and change and prepare ourselves for those more extreme weather events.
When we think of tornadoes, our minds often drift to the vast plains of America, rolling giant ripples across the landscape with terrifying force. But here in the United Kingdom, tornadoes are lesser known and often underestimated threats.
If left unchecked, what does the next 5 to 10 years look like regarding extreme weather and the change in climate in the UK?
Continued increase in the intensification of these weather events. So we again see more frequent heavy rainfall, we again see more frequent heat waves. The key thing that we're going to see is more records being broken.
What impact is climate change having on extreme weather conditions in the UK?
So our weather conditions in the UK are very much similar to what we're seeing worldwide at the moment. An increase in both intensity of temperatures and also intensity of rainfall in a number of locations. Met Office figures show that the UK in itself has warmed on average 1.2 degrees Celsius since the 1880s. In our heavy rainfall downpours, we're getting more than 17% more rain than the 1960s. Our hottest summer of 2022 at 40.3 degrees Celsius has sort of occurred in those last 3 years, and 5 of the hottest years on record have occurred since the year 2000. So the main pattern is that we're seeing more extremes of temperature and rainfall, and with climate change it's a little bit like loading the dice. The more we sort of have an impact on the climate, the more we will see higher intensity rainfall, higher temperatures, and more impact and devastation as a result of that.
In 2005, Birmingham faced a violent tornado. It tore through the city, ripping roofs from homes, shattering windows, and damaging over 500 buildings.
At the moment, I think there is a big gap between awareness around the subject and then understanding around the subject. A survey by the ONS a couple of years ago said that 70% of students were concerned about climate change. But the problem comes is there is not enough embedded in the curriculum about climate change. There are only 2,000 students nationally that take that as a subject. So what we actually need to do is build more curriculum links across all subjects about climate change.
When a tornado forms, every second matters. Safety depends on preparation, awareness, and knowing where to go before the storm strikes. Weather alerts, sirens, and warnings are the first line of defence, but when the skies turn dark and the winds begin to roar, shelter is what truly saves lives.